Welcome back. Now, according to reports, child sexual abuse is obviously one of the most significant risks facing children today. 1 in 10 children will be victims of sexual abuse, and the consequences of this abuse can be devastating. How can we curb sexual abuse with children? And what do you think the homeschool society and the government should do to help end it? Now, we'd like to hear the opinion of the children in the studio. Welcome again, ladies.
Thank you.
I'm surprised we don't even have a gentleman amongst us here, but because it's not only girls that are abused. So we'll be throwing some questions to the gentlemen in the audience too. This whole week we've been talking about sexual abuse. I wanted to get your thoughts on sexual abuse. Have you heard about it amongst your peers? Have you experienced it? Do you know of anybody that's been through that situation? Would like to share anybody?
I know of someone that faced incest.
Oh, wow.
Actually, her stepfather was molesting her, and then she tried to report to her mom, but then her mom said she didn't like the man, so she was trying to implicate him.
Wow.
Now she's a drug addict.
Oh, really?
How old is she?
15.
Oh my goodness, really? Now, in that kind of situation, how did you find it? Did she come and tell you, confide in you, or how did you find out?
She's a friend of my friend.
Okay, now, in that kind of situation, if any of your friends come and tell you that kind of thing, what was your first line of action? What would you do?
To report to someone, tell my mom or somebody. I just don't
Somebody
think I
in a
can
higher
keep something
authority.
like that.
Okay, let me come to you.
Like someone in a higher authority. All these things could be avoided if children are actually educated on their rights. If they know, their rights, all these things just could be avoided, because actually people who molest children are actually close to us. They are always around us. Like 90% are family members that we know, while the other 10% are strangers. So more of the things are really inside our family, and we can't say our parents can just lock us up and not let us socialize with our family members. It can't be like that.
Okay, so you said a friend of a friend. What do you think the response of the parents should have been?
She should have tried to look for signs. She should have looked for signs. Should have tried, if something is happening in your house, you would know. If your child is changing behavior, you would know. Because a child cannot just wake up one morning and say, okay, today I'm going to be destructive, I'm going to break the rules, I'm going to hate somebody.
But you see, no, I have a concern about, because I go to schools, and we've been to your school from Real Woman Foundation, and a lot of these girls and boys, they are afraid to talk to parents. From a child's perspective, why would you not want to tell your parents? Because you talk among your friends. They would say, okay, these are the things I'm going through. So mothers out there are listening, fathers out there that are listening, they can say, okay, maybe this is why my daughter is not talking, or this is why my son is not telling me if there's anything wrong. Why would you not say anything?
I think trust issues.
Okay.
Basically, the child does not trust their parents enough to tell them this is what is wrong with me. Or the child thinks that if I should tell my parent this, what will be her reaction? She can beat me, she can do lots of stuff to me.
It's a valid fear. I mean, because of the way your friend's mom reacted to her, it's a valid fear.
Most of the time, the molesters always make the child feel like it's their fault. So they won't want to come out in public to expose it, because they are blaming themselves. They think they were the ones that caused it or provoked it to happen.
Let me come to the audience here. Who here would like to share an experience, or you heard somebody, you know someone, or concerning sexual abuse, molestation, that's been through something? A gentleman who's been through this. By the wave of hand, anybody? I know it's a really hard topic to talk about. It's very difficult. But you see, we have experts in the house who would help us walk through this. So it's okay. Yes, I think the teacher wants to say something.
To my own perspective, there's an incident that happened somewhere around this vicinity, whereby the mother of a girl, after divorcing the previous husband, he went into relationship with another man, in which he got married to the man, and the man has been a father to this young girl. From another man. But at this point in time, it's like the man is started having an interest on this girl, in which the mother is not aware of. But something happened in a way that this man abused this girl. And the man threatened the girl that he's going to kill her, she's going to disgrace her, she's going to do a lot of things that are so disastrous. But the girl, she was afraid and she was unable to inform the mother, likewise people around the vicinity. But at the end of the day, we noticed that this child have gone into this kind of situation for like a year plus, and the child was pregnated by that man. Amen. Now the issue now came up whereby people started prognosing and started complaining and talking about the issue, and the mother at this point is so confused. But to my own perspective, I can say that we parents, the parents themselves, need to caution these children and let them be free with them. Let the children be free with them. They can tell them whatever they like. And in a situation, let the father or the mother always talk to the child. Tell them, I love you. You are the best girl.
All right.
And thank you very much.
Let me take this call. Ugo, are you there?
Yes.
Go on, please go ahead. I'm sorry you lost that call. I would like to hear from a gentleman, because I'm not in any way trying to say you've experienced it. You might have heard somebody that's experienced, but I want to understand what your peers are saying, what you know concerning sexual abuse, what you've learned, even from your school, from your parents. Anybody, please.
While we're looking for somebody, may I? Okay, so
yes,
somebody
go ahead.
now. I realized from this week that it's easy to say that, oh, you have a problem, you can't deal with it in your marriage, divorce. I see that divorce has many more ripple effects than just that I'm remarrying somebody. Fathers are molesting their daughters. How much more stepfathers?
Exactly.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
All right, my name is Chet Eze. I think the reason people molest children is to feel because they have a need to feel superior. They might be in a relationship where both partners are equal, and they may not be satisfied enough. They want to be the one in charge. So they see the target, in this case the child, and they believe that he or she has control over that child. Okay. That's where it starts.
Control issue. Let me come to Abraham from Ikorodu. Are you there? Sorry, we lost that call. We have an issue with calls. Yes,
I have a question for other men there, because we've heard their opinion on how you think a parent should address it. How do you think a parent should address this? What do you think a parent would do that will prevent you from falling into this kind of trap?
Anybody else? The gentleman at the far,
far right.
My name is Moshike Sebastian, and I feel that parents should keep more watch on their children. They should be more aware of how their children are acting, or they should be more concerned with them. They should always be talking with them, they should always be conversing with them constantly, so they don't have trust issues with them. And they should also have high security, always be watchful over the child, so they don't fall into or end up seeing someone that they're not supposed to meet.
Fantastic. Let me take this call. Fred Gene from Warri. Are you there?
Communication.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. I'm here.
Go ahead, please.
It's delayed.
I want to let people understand that you guys are doing a very good job. One of the sole reasons why these things are happening is because of the school. Because there's a school very close to me. I will tell you categorically that it's preparator, because I went around and saw how the preparator has been molesting the students within the 16 and 17 years, even 14. And I will tell you that these guys have slept with more than 10 students in that school.
Okay. Wow. Thank you very much. Now, I'd like to throw the questions to you guys and anybody who is willing to answer. What knowledge have you gotten concerning sexual abuse? from the family, from your parents? You have a good relationship with your parents where they tell you about these things. Do your parents talk to you about sex? Or do you hear from your friends? Or do you hear from the school? Where do you learn about sex? Let me start with you. Where do you learn about sex from?
I learned about sexual abuse from a book.
From a book?
Normally, some reasons why child are sexually abused is because parents have a lot of places to go. So normally, they leave their children behind with their neighbors, family, friends, and that's not meant to be because people can never be trusted. You don't know if someone can turn against you. Yeah. So, I mean, what I think you should do is that either you carry your child to work or maybe you can keep the child in school, for instance. Now, you should make sure that the child is kept safely. Even nobody can be trusted because people might actually turn against you.
Fantastic. So what have you learned about sex, sexual abuse? I want somebody to tell me what you know, as in, who told you first about this thing called sexual abuse? Was your mom, dad, book, internet, friends,
She said
school?
book.
She said book. Who learned about sex from outside, from friends?
She wants to talk about something.
Please go ahead.
I learned from my mom.
Your mom?
At what age?
Around 5, 6.
Okay.
Because we used to live in a house where there were lots of people. So my mom was like, if somebody should touch you here, you report. If somebody touches you here, you report. Your laps are your private parts and things like that. Parents should learn to teach their children at early ages because you can't tell when a molester is going to come. So if you teach your child at the age of 4 or 5, it's not bad because anybody can be a victim.
Okay, I have a call from Lekki. Good morning, are you there?
Hello,
good morning, sir. Huh?
This is Denzel Okoro.
Good morning, sir. Go ahead, Denzel.
I think based on the topic, I think it's a matter of integrity. And I feel men should be able to control themselves. You can imagine a case of a 60-year-old man raping a 9-year-old.
Yeah.
So it's kind of disturbing. So I think the best option is we should talk to the men mostly.
Okay. All right, thank you. Somebody wants to say something. What? Sorry, somebody's there and the audience wants to say something. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I learned about sex from my civic education teacher.
At what age?
Age 10.
Okay.
Have you had a conversation with your parents, mother, father, concerning sex?
My mom.
At what age?
I think 11.
Okay. So you heard it first from school?
Yes.
The subject of sex, when it comes to parents, it's a bit tough. My son will be 10 this year, and I remember I was saying last year, was it last year? It was 8 then. I saw him on Google typing to explain to a child. And that was where I now told him there and then that please, if you have any concerns, because you see, first of all, most of these children are uncomfortable talking to their parents because they feel that parents would just, first of all, if a child comes to say, someone touched me, the mother would disbelieve. Overreact, you know, and they don't want that. Children, once you overreact, they shield and they freeze. They don't talk anymore. So when he saw that, I had to make him comfortable enough to come to meet me no matter what it is. You know, don't even show any sign that you are shocked or something. Then you will be able to win the trust of that child. Because most times when we go to schools to talk to these girls, they will tell you, if I tell my mother, she does not believe me. If I tell this, they have different slangs for things. Okay. While inter-house sport is going on, Mariah, some of them are in one corner they were doing competition of who can give a better BJ than the other person. So there are so many things. And these children, they know. We pretend. We are denying. We are living in denial as parents, thinking that they do not know what is going on.
Fantastic point. Well, let me take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to bring in an expert to help us understand how to... We can't give proper sexual education because it's a breakfast show. We don't want to get in trouble. But will help us to understand how to deal with the situation. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Now, Joining us on the show is a child sexual abuse advocate and human rights activist, Mrs. Bose Ironsi. Welcome to the show, ma'am.
Good morning.
So you've been here from the beginning where we started talking about this issue, and we've been here this week also on this matter. Now, we want to focus on the children because they're in the studio and a lot of children also watching at home. First of all, help us to understand who an abuser is. What are those characteristics? What are those signs to know that, okay, this might be an abuser?
Okay, thank you very much. An abuser, it could be anybody. Could be a child, could be an adult, could be a youth, could be a neighbor, could be a driver, it could be the security guy down there, could be a teacher, could be anybody. So that's who an abuser is. And then understanding the signs of what happened. Let me give you an example. My daughter was 8 years old and she was in school, and I started telling her that nobody should call you a wife because you are not a wife. And so when she was coming back from school one day, one of the men stopped her and said, my wife, how are you? I said, wife? Where? How? And then she came home and told me that, mommy, somebody called me a wife. And she was really bitter about it. So I had to go there and said, when did you pay her bride price? Why are you calling her a wife? Do you see the big girls out there? If you want to marry, go and marry. And I said, well, excuse me, ma, I was just playing with her. And I said, play? She doesn't like it. So, and then when she's passing, they say, look at that girl, please stay off or the mother will kill you. So what am I trying to say? You should be able to identify. One, let's get into the fact that what the little girl that was here mentioned.
Latifa.
Yeah, that it actually starts from the home. It's within the home. So there are uncles and all that who will give you sweet often, which ordinarily should be something you should be happy. I mean, if the uncle say, okay, go and wash, tidy up that plate and I will buy you chocolate or something, you should be. But when it is becoming too often, you know that there must be something. And he will say, okay, everybody go and sleep, you come and stay. You should be careful about that. And then I feel so bad that the people who should take responsibility for what is happening to these kids are the ones that are running away from it.
Yes.
Like Uwa said, we are in a denial. In short, you know that it is very difficult for us to mention about sex. Either in the home or out there, you know. Again, my 17-year-old child, he was just 7 when he told the girl, oh, fine, because I used to tell them, I love you, you are the best in the world and all that. And he told the girl, thank you for helping me to bring that book. I love you. And the teacher beat the hell out of him. I said, why would you say you love somebody? And I went to school and I told the teacher, you are the one who is misunderstanding that love that girl has for, the son had. We don't allow these kids to express themselves and encourage them to, when they are doing that expression, you will be able to know, okay, this is right or this is wrong. So we just stuffing them into wanting them to behave a particular way. We should encourage children. For example, I dance all the form of, you know, that
all the latest dance.
All the latest dance. And dance with them, not because I want to do that, but because in doing that, I will ask them, what is this music saying? Does it make sense to you? You know, that's not the one we should listen to. Let's look at, go to something else that would be, such things. Parents should open up. I think the greatest thing is communication.
Fantastic.
We are not communicating with our children.
Let's talk about
I want to add something for children to watch out for, because she said that when you notice somebody a predator is coming close to you over and over again. Also, when anybody starts telling you, don't tell your mother I gave you sweets.
Yes.
Don't tell your father I gave you this wristwatch. When they start telling you to keep secrets from your parents, then they are predators. You should watch out for them, because soon they will touch you and say, don't tell them.
Let me just also say that once anybody tells you, see what we are doing, don't tell anybody. Just go and tell.
Yeah. And also the father.
It shows that that person is trying to do something that is bad.
The parents that also molest their children, those parents also try to make you feel that you are their favorite. Most times. So it's also even within families, because we cannot hide the fact that incest happens. So if you begin to isolate you alone, don't think it's because you are special or you're too pretty. There's something wrong. Especially when you know that there's something wrong.
Let me take some questions from the kids.
Sorry, just to say that you must not people are going to threaten you that if I do you something,
you will die.
If you report, you will die, your mommy will die, and your father will die, or your siblings will die. Nobody will die. Nobody's going to die. Please express yourself. Yeah.
Do you have any questions for Mrs. Nronsi concerning this sexual abuse? Any questions? While you're deciding who to ask question, Jumoke, want to?
Yes. How did you know that I had a question? Okay, so it's difficult for children to open up. So how do they approach an adult? For instance, if it's their parents, as we have seen that incest happens, and I can't talk to my mother, or you know the Yoruba culture of children are just supposed to be seen and not heard. The realities of our time, a child that finds themselves and it's one of their parents who is the predator, what do they do? Who should they run to?
Yeah, I will request that they tell somebody outside.
Not like the other parents.
Yes, because usually the person inside, especially if it's the woman, will not want to lose her status as Mrs. Whatever. She will not believe. Like you have mentioned, there will be lack of trust. So there must be an uncle or an auntie.
Pastor?
No, not pastor.
Not pastor. Pastor will say
I would even recommend they go to the Lagos State government.
Yes, they should tell somebody. But beyond that, how much of the information do they have as to where to go and how to go about it? So they should tell somebody. Or they should tell an uncle in school.
Okay, fantastic.
Or the counselor.
Let me take this call from Benue State. Good morning, are you there? Hello? Yakubu, I think from Benue State. Good morning, sir.
Yes, this is Taja Roberts calling from Makudi, Delta State.
Delta State.
Delta State, oh sorry, go ahead please.
Yes, I really appreciate the topic that is ongoing right now. People are doing well. The topic is so educative and encouraging to we the parents out here. It's impacting so much on us. But my contribution is not as few people are saying. I want to chip in a point of dress code. You know, most of the times the parents would want their parents to look trendy. Sorry, their children to look trendy. It doesn't make any sense if a young girl of 8, 9, 10, 11, or even 13, 14, since she's a minor, she should always dress and cover herself. Right there in the studio, a girl stood up from the background, she dressed with her tights exposed. Those are some of the things that attract the bad spirit.
Okay. Thank you very much, Baja. I like her to mention, because she says she disagrees.
No. Let me tell you, we've had cases of a father raping a 6-week-old baby.
Jesus Christ.
And then I ask myself, is it the Pampax, or is it the crying, or is it the feeding bottle that is attractive? Because we always want to give excuses as to why things happen. It is not the mode of dressing. Men wear boxers. I will don't go after and tear off their boxers and rip them. Please, I don't just want to accept that as an excuse, you know, because sometimes they will tell you this is the reason why I did what I did. No,
it's wrong.
If you feel so bad, please go out.
Let me take this question from the gentleman in the studio. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
My name is Ayo, and my question is, why is it that most parents like molesting their children? Because I have a friend, his dad likes the daughter more than the other brother. And to me, I think that's very wrong, because there's some things that can be going on in secret, and I don't know how to handle that case.
Did you get the question?
Okay, the question is favoritism.
Yes.
So,
siblings.
Yeah, I think it's very wrong. You know, parents try to do that, especially if the child is more intelligent, and people praise the child so well, you tend to do. But that's very sad. It's a very sad event. It shouldn't be.
Okay. Okay, I have one more question.
Another question,
Yes, sir.
My name is Akachi, and what can force a parent to molest a child, and how can it be avoided?
Thank you. Deep question.
What can force a parent to molest a child, and how can it be avoided?
Yes, I think most times, let me tell you why sometimes abuse comes. It could be scapegoating. You are having issues with the mother, and to get to her, we have discovered that you get to the children as well. Yes, they get to the children because they just want to make sure that the woman is totally psychologically down.
Yeah, can I also add that also, for a man to molest their child, it's a deep place of, what's it called? Psychological problem. It's possible that that parent is also a subject, like he's a product of abuse. If you have abuse all over inside of you, you can only give abuse back.
So how can we
prevent it means that he might be a product of abuse.
And how can we prevent?
Once you identify, I think the best thing is to first of all speak out, because the way to kill abuse first is to speak out. Until you talk, before people will know what is going on.
I'll have to do the final word because I have to close on this.
Yes, segment. I also want to say that we should raise our male children not to abuse, the girls. And where you start them from the young age to appreciate the fact that they are not supposed to rape kids and all that. When they grow up, they will learn how to respect them.
All right, let's take a quick break. We have a special guest amongst us. He's the Commissioner, Lagos State Commissioner of Information. He's here to tell us the state also, but at the same time, maybe we'll say a few things on this issue. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Welcome back. Now, joining us on the show is the Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Mr. Steve Ayorinde. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you.
Now, all the people we've been having all this week have been praising Lagos State. But we wanted to hear from the horse's mouth. Concerning child sexual abuse, molestation, and all that, what has your government done to protect these children?
Okay, let me start by commending what you ladies have done since the beginning of the week. I have followed everything, and I acknowledge the fact that people see what Lagos State is doing. Well, Lagos is #1 when it comes to the protection of child rights. Basically, there is a law that has been passed since 2008, which is the Child Rights Law. It's very effective. The current Attorney General is so concerned about the rights of the children that you wouldn't even dare to trespass. A corollary to that is the other law, which is the domestic violence and sexual abuse law, which was passed in 2007. What we do is that we try as much as possible to enforce the law. And you will see from reports that Lagos State won't shy away from ensuring that no single child in Lagos is molested.
Fantastic.
If it happens at all, then the strong arm of the law will come after you very hard. More so because we also have the Domestic Violence Rapid Response Team, which I believe you're a member of, and they're really very effective. They go around, they circulate information, just to make sure that all our younger ones are very protected.
Within the course of this week, we had a story. A report was shown about one alpha that raped someone in the market. It was granted bail. And also it was corroborated by one of the ladies that said that we can only prosecute a case when you have a witness. When the parent refused to step up and witness against his other parent or someone else, how do you try such cases where there is no witness and you know that this person has been abused? What can the Lagos State do?
I mean, the reason why we have the Rapid Response Team is to actually encourage people to come out. And you see that if you get 1 or 2 cases where people are reluctant, maybe as a result of stigma or shame, they're reluctant to come out, you will find another 10, 20 people who are now eager to come out to say this happened. And it's as a result of what Lagos State is doing to encourage them, to protect them, to say come out and speak out and let these children be protected.
And just to add to that, if they are a minor, it's a state's responsibility.
It is, indeed.
So to persecute, whether the parents are willing to, because it's not becomes a state issue.
Okay, so if an 8-year-old is being sexually harassed by her father, for instance, what does she do? She doesn't know the way to allow her. What should she do?
But the case of, there was a case recently where the girl actually, the sister ran out, and the other one complained, and gave evidence that this is what has been happening, to me. If they know that the state will protect them, you see more people come out, and state will always encourage them to say, come out and tell us.
I know the kids have two more questions for Mrs. Nronsi, so I'd like to give them an opportunity. Yes, my lady, yes.
My name is Oyin Kasala, and my question is, let's say a girl is being molested, and then by the person she trusts the most, who is she meant to tell?
Okay, I think we've said it several times. Either you have to find somebody outside that circle, somebody you trust, so maybe from your
counselor in school,
your counselor in school, your teachers, even your neighbors,
pastor in church,
because now there's information. The Lagos State has told us that there are laws protecting you.
Yes.
That means that if you tell another adult outside, that adult can find their way to Alausa or to the Ministry of Women Affairs to get you help. So there's information for you. So you might not know what to do, but once you tell another responsible adult, that adult should be able to get you to allow you to needed help.
If you have access to your principal, if you feel you can't take to you, just walk up to your principal in school and say, excuse me, this is happening to me.
Or your teacher.
Or your teacher or your counselor.
And Morayo, a guest this week mentioned that all of us have a responsibility. So don't say, it's my neighbor that is molesting. It's all of us. So if I know about it and I don't talk, I'm also liable.
Exactly.
Exactly. Any other question? Yes? Oh, yes, Latifa, go ahead.
What do you do when the threat is real? Because we said most of the time the person that's threatening you says, I'll kill you and this, but then what if the person is actually going to do what they say? What do you do?
Harm you. When the person might be able to harm you, actually.
Yes.
Now, let me say that if you are able to report, you're actually taking that away from that environment. So it won't have access to you.
Yes.
Okay? For example, the Lagos State have shelter for kids, where kids who are in a horrible situation can be taken away and kept in a home where you feel so good as well. So you don't say because I'm afraid or they are going to harm me and the threat is real and then you remain in that circumstance. No.
Even the Afar story, the girl has been evicted, in the custody, so they have protection for us. Any other questions?
Just to add to what she said, if the threat is as real as you say, once you report to a third party, insist that you do not want to return to that house so that people can actually raise the alarm.
Let's see some tweets. I think we have a call. Is out. Okay, let me take one more question while we get some tweets. Yes.
Okay, my question is, yes, we know the child is being abused and being molested, but how can we also help the one who is molesting the child? Because it comes both ways, because sometimes the one molesting the child might have psychological issues. He might be a paraphilia or a pedophilia. So how do we help them? How do we help them overcome these urges so they can stop?
Yeah, I think they need more of education. They need psychotherapy.
Treatment.
They need treatment, because it's not something that you can just take care of only the victim. It's just not about counseling. They actually need to be, look deep into them. There are several factors that are responsible for it.
Tweets, please.
So we need to go in deep.
I wanted to add something to what she said. The truth is that whenever abuse happens, even if you report and you're taken out of that situation, it doesn't stop the abuser from abusing other people. So your responsibility is to save yourself and save other victims that would eventually. So those people would need to go through therapy.
All right, tweets.
Kafilat says, be the first model, talking to parents. Teach them chastity, good morals, and lead by example. Let them see you as the first person they can get help from. Rayhat Zero Hero says, an abuser isn't always a man. There are aunties who molest male children too. Oluwatoyin says, don't trust that uncle that carries your kids on his laps. You should be at alert.
Okay, we have just a few seconds left. I know the Lagos State Commissioner would also want to say one or two things concerning Lagos being 49 today, right?
Yeah, that's
correct.
Correct.
49 today, and you're launching the road to 50th or something like that.
Yes, I mean, it's a special, anniversary. It's a special birthday for Lagos. We're 49 today. Thank you. So it's great. It's great that Lagos has always celebrated. Thank you. It's great that Lagos has always celebrated its birthday on the same day that the children celebrate their own day. But this is different because this is actually flagging off a 1-year anniversary to celebrate Lagos, and it will culminate same time next year, 27th of May, 2017, when Lagos will be 50.
When we are 50, what are we hoping to see?
You'll be wowed by the fact that Lagos can, grow so quickly, climb higher. You will see iconic projects, being commissioned. You will see legacy projects, and you will also be entertained. Lagos deserves a ball, and that's what we are trying to do, really.
Fantastic.
When is our governor coming? We need to have.
We have another question.
We have
planned you people today.
Yeah, but no worry. I know that,
but there's no time.
At some point, but we have to round up. Mrs. Ronsi, I'd like you to also say a few words before we close, because these are children and they represent a lot of children in Nigeria. Last words for them, Children's Day.
Keith, it's not wrong for you to speak out, right? People might tell you that you are, you know, you talk too much. No, please speak out. Let no one tell you that you cannot speak, okay? If anything is going wrong with you, make sure that you tell someone, okay? If you see something, you say something, okay? Don't keep quiet,
Fantastic.
Okay?
All right. What's any last word, sir?
Yes, please, thank you. The theme for today's celebration is actually vision of the child. Lagos is what it is today because we have the children that have been allowed to demonstrate what the good Lord has given to them. So I like to say to them that Lagos will always support you. Lagos will always protect you. Be the best that you can be. And remember, Lagos will be 50 next year. You're part of the celebration.
All right, so from all of us, from Jumoke, YK, Papa, Uwa, Nina, we all say Happy Children's Day. Happy Children's Day. And thank you to Caleb British International School. God bless you. Have a lovely weekend. See you again next Monday. Bye-bye.
Bye. See Alpha. I'm not seeing Alpha how many months. See Alpha don't
turn now. It's 10.